because we're doing like local nights and not charging a cover. We're trying to keep it super stripped. If there is any money, I try to throw it at the people playing, which there's hardly ever any money because it's a free night, you know. So I can't get like I can't bring heads out from LA that throw really good nights there, you know, and like, but I feel like we do make noise because I don't know, I get emails all the time about it, about people trying to come down, and it's a lot of time it's like people that I grew up like respecting, you know, and listening to, and they're touring and like, hey, I heard you had this going on. But that might be just like speaking for Pushing Buttons and not the whole scene in general. All the different genres come, they realize we're all doing the same thing, you know, and it's like, it might not be my style, but the same thing like house and techno I was never into, but I see people doing it and see how they do it, and it's exactly what I do. It's just different styles, and they're into it, we're into it. I have people that like have actually connected through the night and worked on music together. I have had some like electronic producers play hip hop sets thinking I wanted hip hop, and I was like, no, you can do whatever you want. And they were like, oh, well, I make hip hop too, you know? And it's like, we didn't know that. And I've seen a guy actually, a guy in an MC, he came up to him and was like, what is this? I've never, you know, and he just gave him the music. It ended up on his album. So yeah, I feel like we still will connect for sure, and I think it's just gonna get bigger and better.
Alternate Frequencies came around because I really like psychedelic electronic music, and I think that there is a pretty distinct difference between that style of music, and it's a pretty big family of music, but that compared to some of like the more bassy music that's popular in like the electronic scene, and definitely compared to like house and techno. There's also this like, I think this kind of like deep, almost like spiritual, existential thirst for like mind-opening experiences that really comes from some of the qualities of psychedelic music, which is not necessarily going to be 4/4. It's not going to just be like a blast of bass music. There's a lot more texture. There's tons and tons of space in that kind of music. And for me, that's kind of been my personal like happy place. It's where I've developed a lot of my own craft, and it's also a lot of the music that I think is bringing people out repeatedly to like these more conscious gatherings that are really popular in California, Colorado, and a lot of areas of the Western United States. So Alternate Frequencies is basically my attempt to bring some element of that culture into a scene that frankly didn't really have any of that music.
There's people here in Tucson. It's not just the 40,000 kids at the U of A who all disappear in summer. I used to do these house parties while I was in college, and basically we called ourselves Atlas Harmony. And so Atlas Harmony, eventually we just like fell through and we just couldn't like pull it off. Like our first show that I've ever like, I paid for the venue and everything, was a warehouse about 2 blocks down from where we're at right now, about $500, and fucking empty, dude. Like, we didn't know how to promote for nothing, and now we just put out like some dumb shit video of us doing something dumb, and all of a sudden we've got 700 views, and it's like, oh, why didn't we just do that in the first place? So now stay tuned for more dumb shit, I guess. Ultimately, what Project Atlas is a community outreach program where I provide a platform not only for myself, but for as many local artists as I can find in Tucson. Like, if you want to be a part of Project Atlas, message me, send me a mix, come over to my house, mix on my stuff, show me that like I can put you on stage and that we can work with it, and I'll put you on. Like, I don't give a fuck.